Hello everyone, welcome to What If Deku got Isekai'd in the world of Fairy Tail Part 3. Before we start, please go support Immortal King 71 for writing that awesome fanfic. Now let's begin. Part 15. It's a beautiful day at the beach with Lucy and Natsu on a surfboard attached to a jet ski and surfing the water, Happy trying to stand on the hot stand, but hopping to each leg, and Izuku, Aries, Erza along Grey all playing netball, and then all of them running along the shores of the water touching the sand, each with smiles and laughs, and a blushing Aries getting a piggyback from Izuku. Currently, Isekai'd Resort's all of Fiori's most popular resort where its citizens can relax and enjoy themselves in a number of ways. Both its amusement park and the adjoining hotel are rated first class. One visit to its white sand beach will make you want to come back again and again. All this looks the ocean water as far as the eye can see. Using the tickets Loki gave us, me, Aries, and the others enjoy some well-deserved fun in the sun. Natsu is currently playing piggy in the middle with Izuku tossing Grey's underwear back and forth, while Grey uses Happy as a way to cover up his crotch. Grey. Give me back my bathing suit. Natsu. No way, man. Ha 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 ha. Aries. This is so embarrassing. Izuku. Ha 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 ha. Happy. Woo. Lucy. Haha, I don't think Happy likes being used as a cover-up. Meanwhile, hiding behind a coconut tree is Juvia in a bikini with a massive smile on her face. Juvia. Oh, my darling is such a hunk. Time skip. Izuku is seated outside his room on his balcony looking out to the sky with some alcohol in hand. His eyes were near closed. Izuku. Show me who you are. And with that, he fell asleep. In his dream or rather vision, Izuku saw colonies of ships sailing towards a single location, then an island in which cargo was being transported, and beside the fires used to keep the place under light, were guards wearing strange masks and clothing alongside creepy monsters with collars around their necks. They looked like a pet monster from Stranger Things. Then it changed to when it was daytime. People were being used as slaves with little clothing on their bodies, walking around shoeless. Their cuffs were magnetic, and a line of magic connected them to a small robot hovering behind the slaves who pulled along the cargo inside a canyon, where construction was clearly being done, and the guard supervised it all. Men and women were mining, old and young, some struggled to even stand, while others were being shocked and made to scream in agony from the lightning coursing through their veins. As punishment, their homes were in cells, and the kids and adults along with the elderly were all seated leaning against the dirty rock walls, while the guards roamed outside. Then there was a small girl who fell to the ground. She had purple eyes and red hair like Erza, only much shorter. She wore a blue dress covered with markings and dirt with some rips in it. The guard began to shout at her, and the Stranger Thing-looking monster barked at her. The girl could only tuck herself into a ball with small tears at the end of her eyes. That's when it ended, within a prison cell completely dark, not even a shred of light. Lying there was a boy with brown hair and green eyes. Visible anger was inscribed on his face before he looked at Izuku. The boy's eyes shined brightly, and he mimicked several words. The scene changed to reveal two guards, one short and fat, the other tall and skinny, looming over a blue-haired body. With smirks, an old man with a fairy tale emblem on his back, shielding something from the other, and then a bunch of smoke in the mining site before it all ended. Izuku heard the words, "I love you always, Erza." End of vision. Izuku woke up huffing and puffing while holding his eye. Who was that boy looking right at him? Was he the one who helped Izuku against Oze? The reason they won? Was he the reason for that vision? And what connection did he have to that little girl? Why was he angry when she cried? And why was he himself suddenly angry? Izuku walked inside only to look into his mirror with a thoughtful impression on his face, before sitting, the tears streaming down his eyes, wiping his tears off and clutching his fist. Izuku. Why does it hurt to see that little girl cry? He asked himself, remembering the girl who looked a lot like Erza tearing up in a ball when the door was slammed open by Lucy. Lucy. Hey Izuku, come on, everyone's downstairs, come join us, I'm heading to get Erza. Izuku. Oh, I'm sure, Lucy. Lucy. How are you? Alright, you looked like you were crying. Izuku. No, I'm fine, to thank you, goodbye now, he said before shutting the door and going back to the mirror, only to feel and see two arms wrapped around his waist and Aries behind him. Aries. Don't cry, master. Izuku turned and petted the girl. Izuku. Don't worry, I won't now. Then head back to the spirit world. You need rest after our long day. Or did you want to see me get dressed? My Aries, a pervert are we? Aries? You, she said, exploding in a blush before disappearing, leaving a chuckling Izuku. Okay, time to get dressed, he told himself before starting to change. Outside Izukus' room waited Erza and Lucy, who were bored. Lucy. What's taking him so long? Erza. Damn it, I'm just gonna get him, and I swear if he's asleep I'm gonna. She opened the door to stop talking and blush. Lucy, who was confused, went to see what's wrong, and went wide-eyed. Standing there was a bachelor in Izukus' place. Izuku. Well, is something the matter, ladies? Izukus asked, pushing a little hair up from his eye with a smirk, causing Erza and Lucy to turn into a stuttering mess and run to the casino. Izuku. I suppose I look good, don't I? He told himself before leaving. In the celestial realm, Ares can be seen blushing while looking at Izuku using her magic. Little did she know a jealous Virgo was glaring at her, since Izuku was her master, and Aquarius were trying hard to get everyone's attention, but they were all staring at Izuku through the TV, even the celestial spirit king pissing the water spirit off. But Izuku, while everyone enjoyed themselves at the casino, Natsu, Happy and Gray were busy playing for 317s on a strange machine until they got 2 instead of 3 and they lost it. Erza, Izuku, and Lucy were playing cards, but Izuku was on another game from the two. Izuku? Well boys seem to like the money's mine, Izuku said as the people at his table all got depressed since Izuku took away all their money from winning his game. Then Juvia came towards him in a beautiful blue dress and a large golden fairy tale necklace around her neck. Juvia. Hello my darling, do you remember me? Izuku? Oh Juvia, nice to see you, Izuku said with his signature smile. Juvia? Will Izuku do the honor of joining Juvia for a drink? Izuku? I'm sure Juvia, come on, Izuku said before extending his hand and placing it on the stack of cash before it all was sucked into his palm and appeared in his pocket dimension, the second wind spell he learned, and with that, he guided Juvia to a counter where he orders for both him and her 2 drinks. Izuku? So I heard Phantom Lord was disbanded, are you alright? Juvia? Yes, but now I'm a free wizard and I can join any guild I want, she said making an almost desperate face while the necklace around her neck sparkled like Aoyama. Little did they know someone was walking towards them slowly. Izuku? So I take it you want to join Fairy Tail? Juvia? Oh yes, very much so. Izuku? I don't know, after everything that had recently gone down, I mean I have no queries about it, but it's the master I'm worried about. Juvia? I'll do anything it takes. Izuku? If I were you I'd be careful making promises like that, especially with the master being an old pervert, man. Izuku Midoriya. Izuku? Huh. Izuku turned only for the tall guy to have a purple-black magic circle appear over his eye and cause a massive explosion, causing everyone to scream and run. The smoke upon clearing revealed Izuku and Juvia on the floor. Izuku got up quickly, but Juvia whimpered in pain, further deepening the anger Izuku was building up towards the guy. Izuku? Juvia, what the hell do you think you're doing, buddy? Man. Where is Erza? Izuku? Erza, he asked in a questionable tone before standing up and taking a fighting pose. Man. Now where is she? Izuku? You think I'd tell you, huh? Suddenly water began to circle in front of Izuku before it took the form of Juvia, with her arms spread out to protect Izuku. Juvia? I won't allow you so much as to lay a finger on my beloved, you'll have to go through me first. Izuku? Juvia? Juvia? Erza needs your help right now. I fear she is in grave danger. Izuku? You're right. The man raised his arm and touched his forehead and spoke telepathically to someone only for it to end and his eye to glow red as all the light and color was drained out of everything and then everything truly went black. The light and color came back only to reveal an injured Juvia and Izuku on the floor, completely finished, only for a few minutes to pass and Lucy to come to them. Lucy? Izuku, oh no. She ran to him and placed her hand on his head only for him to turn into water and cause Lucy to scream in shock. Juvia? There is no need to panic. Lucy turned only to see an all too familiar face. Lucy? You're one of the element 4. Izuku? Wait, Lucy. Juvia pushed herself up a little to reveal Izuku lying under her. Izuku? She isn't our enemy anymore. Juvia? Yes, that's right, I pulled my precious Izuku inside of me to ensure his safety. Izuku thoughts. Wait, does that mean? Izuku turned only to see Juvia's breast an inch away from his face and thought. Izuku thoughts. Mother, I've truly become a harem protagonist, I'm sorry. Juvia? Izuku, are you alright? Izuku? Oh yeah, I'm fine, you can get off me now. Juvia? I'm okay, but first. She leaned down and pushed her breast against Izukus, blushing. Stop it now, redo. Juvia? Okay. And with that, she got off. Gray? Izuku, Lucy. The 3 turned only to see Gray approaching without a shirt on. Gray? What is she doing here? He asked, preparing ice make spell until Izuku stopped him. Izuku? Gray, she's on our side. Juvia? Izuku is right, Juvia is not going to harm any of you. Gray glared at her a bit but sighed and followed Izukus' lead. Izuku? So then what happened? Gray? I'm not sure, I saw an explosion in your direction, but I was stopped by some blockhead before he took me and Natsu down. Lucy? Oh no. Izuku? What? And why were they here? And goddammit, where is Erza? Lucy? They came after me and Erza and took her away. Izuku? Damn it. Suddenly a pillar of fire shot into the sky with a scream. Izuku? Let's go. The 4 ran over to Natsu, who was smoking from his tongue. Gray? Natsu? Natsu? Huh. Izuku? What happened to you? Natsu? Hey. What if jerk shoots people in the mouth? Huh, I mean someone could get really hurt. Lucy? I think that would kill anyone who wasn't a weirdo like you. Juvia? I would have to agree. Natsu? I'll show that blockhead. And with that, he darted off, leaving a trail of dust behind him. Izuku? After him. And with that, they charged after Natsu. Lucy? Hold on, does he even know where he is going? Gray? Natsu has a nose that would put wild animals to shame. Izuku. Good cause, we'll need it. With Erza. Erza could be seen shaking while she was cuffed to the wall inside a prison room. In front of her stood an old acquaintance named Sho. Sho. What's wrong, sister? Does this room bring back memories? Ezra's breathing started to get shaky as Sho continued. Sho. Or is it the person who was once imprisoned here? Ezra's eyes widened as a memory of a boy a little older than her was chained to the wall. He was skinny and frail, with brown messy hair and eyebrows, but his gorgeous green eyes shined like the moon. Sho. You will become the sacrifice that takes us to heaven. Our power from this will dominate the world, for when we become its new rulers, we will make the council and everyone else tremble before us. We will take away their freedom and rights. The dark memories completely replayed in Erza's mind, causing her to grow a fearful expression. But one thing that held her together, it was the feeling she had when she and Izuku kissed. The warm and calm sensation she felt in her heart from it kept her from losing it. Erza thoughts. I have no doubt you're gonna come to save me, Izuku, but please this time don't. But Izuku. Now on the sea, a boat is moved by the water. Controlling it is Juvia, joined by Izuku, Lucy, Natsu, and Gray, all headed towards the Tower of Heaven, or rather where the kidnappers took Erza. Gray. Where are we even going? Juvia. We are following Salamander's lead. Lucy. Do you even know where you're going? Natsu. Natsu was laying on the boat sick and about to vomit, so he just nodded. Izuku. Natsu, come on, get up, we need your help, just hold on a little bit. Juvia. How dare you disappoint my darling Izuku with your childish actions. Izukus' eyes widened as the memory of the island that the brown-haired boy was on came to mind, and he instantly told them where to go. Izuku. We're close. Lucy. How do you know? Izuku. Trust me, it's just something is telling me where to go. Suddenly crates began to flow around the ship, as well as dead creatures both of sky and sea. Natsu forgot about his motion sickness and got up. Natsu. What this feeling? Izuku. You sense it too. Ray. What's going on? Juvia. This isn't right. Izuku. Yeah, these crates, it seems there had been a fight and a large group was taken out. Izuku pointed to the destroyed ships from Magic Council. Suddenly a massive tower came into view and Izuku got a horrible gut feeling. Izuku. The Tower of Heaven. Lucy. That's where the guys that took Erza went. Juvia. It seems there's a barrier keeping us out. Ray. Yeah, how are we supposed to get in? Juvia. I can help with that using these. Juvia used her magic to create spheres with oxygen inside for everyone to use. Izuku. Alright, you're amazing, Juvia. Juvia. Thank you, Izuku. Juvia thoughts. Izuku complimented me, I am so happy. And with that, they all dove into the water and swam underneath the Tower of Heaven. Izuku thoughts. We're coming, Erza. Part 16. The group came out of the water, but this time inside of the tower at the bottom, standing on a small island. Juvia. Great work, Juvia, these things are amazing. Juvia. I'm surprised you made it here since I made you personally smaller than the rest. Lucy. Wow, talk about cold. Intruders. Lucy. Oh no. Suddenly everyone was surrounded by the guards from top to bottom. Identify yourself. Izuku. Looks like we're going to have to fight. Natsu began to heat up the air around him. You losers want to know who we are. He ignited his arm in the fire. Natsu. We're the wizards who are gonna pound your faces in. He smashed his fist into the ground, causing a massive explosion of dust, catching the guards of the guard as the group came out on top of the smoke. Natsu. We're from Fairy Tail. Natsu used Fire Dragon's roar. Lucy summoned Virgo, who took down the guard to the top. Juvia used a water slicer, knocking out the other alongside Gray, who used Ice Make Lance. And finally, Izuku sent a Detroit Smash at 100% and wiped everyone out. After taking all the guards down, they gathered together, was hugging Izuku tightly and rubbing her head on his chest as Juvia was being held back by Gray from killing the spirit. Lucy. I hope we didn't attract too much attention. Oh, who am I kidding? She told herself before, and a poo fairies came out of nowhere and pushed Virgo off, causing the two to fight. That's when the massive stone face on the wall opened its mouth and lowered a bridge for the group to enter into a room with a massive table of food in which Izuku, Natsu and Gray began to eat. Juvia. The door that welcomed us in was controlled by a magic user. Virgo. That seems accurate. Lucy. Why would they let us in? Gray. You think they're trying to provoke us? Lucy. I don't know. Virgo. Not to be mean, but your bikini leaves little to the imagination. Lucy jumped back with a blush as Virgo approached her with red eyes to help her change. Gray turned to look with an oh wow, while Izuku was busy feeding a blushing Aries. Izuku. Oh, you're jealous of Virgo. Aries? No. Izuku chuckled and wrapped his arms around Aries' waist, pulling her closer while rubbing his head into her neck, deepening her blush. Juvia. Please stop cuddling her, Izuku. Lucy finished changing and did a pose to act cute. Lucy. Don't I look super cute, guys? Gray. Yeah, extremely. Izuku. Looking good, loose. Virgo, Aries and Juvia approached in anger at Lucy, about to tear her dress up out of jealousy, but stopped. Virgo. I wish you luck, husband, she said, disappearing along with Aries. Lucy. Hey, I am your partner, you know. Alright, hey, did you guys want some clothes to you? Izuku. No, we're good. Gray. Yeah, this does the trick. They said drying their clothes using Natsu. Lucy? He's not a dryer, you know. Suddenly the guards barged in holding magic guns and regular swords charging at them when suddenly they were all taken down by Erza, who was holding twin blades. Izuku Natsu Gray. Erza, Lucy? Thank goodness you're okay. Juvia? She's so cool. Erza turned to them and gasped. Erza? It's you, what are you doing inside the tower? Lucy? Looking for you. Juvia? We haven't met, my name is Juvia and Erza? Go home. This place is far too dangerous. Natsu punched his palm with a flame fist and a glare on his face. Natsu? Don't try to scare me, I'm not going anywhere till that blockhead gets a good taste of my fist. I'm gonna make him pay for shooting me in the mouth. Erza? You have to go. Izuku? But why? Natsu? Your friend's kidnapped, happy I can't leave here till I find my Erza? They got him too. It must have been Milana. Natsu? Where can I find him? Erza? I'm not sure. Natsu, this means war. Izuku, who are you declaring war against? Natsu then darted off. Natsu? The jerk that kidnapped my little buddy. Erza? Wait. Natsu. Ray. What a moron. Izuku. Damn it, Natsu. Juvia? Poor guy. Lucy? Let's go and help him. Erza? No, she shouted, raising her sword, causing them to step back. Erza? Milana is a cat lover, she'd never do anything Ro hurt him. I promise I'll bring the both back to the guild with me, Erza, but you four need to leave immediately. Lucy? Don't be ridiculous. We can help you. Erza? I don't want your help, this is my problem, it doesn't involve you. She said, starting to walk away. Ray? How can you say that you saw Natsu? I'd say we're plenty involved. Lucy? Erza, what's up with this tower and woes this Jellal guy? Erza's voice became shaky, which no one noticed except for Izukus, who squinted his eyes. Lucy? I can understand if you don't want to tell us. You said those guys were your friends. Well, we're your friends now and we're here to help you, Lucy, and no matter what happens we're always gonna have your back. Ray? Yeah, she's right. Izuku? Couldn't have said it better. Erza, leave. Izuku? That's enough. Erza, now tell me what the hell's the matter with you, we want to help you. Erza then turned to reveal herself, crying, but from only one eye, and not both, shocking the group. Gray and Izuku stepped back with a blush as Erza began to speak. Erza? I'm sorry, but you can't help me. From the moment I set foot in here, my fate was sealed. Win or lose this battle, I'm staring death in the face. Ray, what do you mean by that? Erza? There's no point in fighting what's inevitable. I can't, but what I can do is share my story with you while I'm still here. This building is the Tower of Heaven. It had also called the R system. Over several years ago, a cult had begun construction of this place, a place that will bring the dead back to life. The spell required multiple human sacrifices, so the cult abducted people to use them as slaves. I know this because I was one of them. Etherion? Gasp. Erza? Here there was no peace of mind, we were always living in fear, but we bonded and made friends that even though we knew wouldn't be together long. One of my friends in the tower was a boy named Jellal, and the other was named I. He was the one person I ever truly loved. Flashback. The same small red-haired girl Izuku saw was cuffed around a pillar in a room where a massive gem was stored. Fighting noises could be heard in the background as the boy Jellal screamed her name. Jellal. Erza. Jellal had ran into the room with a massive sword in his arm, which he stuck to the ground as she whimpered. Jellal. Hold on, don't worry, I'll get you out of here. He laid Erza down, but when he saw her eye he lost it and screamed out "No" for all to hear. He then carried her out the room until magic guards appeared in front of them and stopped the two. Meanwhile in a cell room. Show. I hope sister's gonna be alright. Simon. Hey, you're always put through punishment, do you think she'll come back? I was the same boy whom Izuku saw in his vision. Erza is very strong, there is no need to worry. I just wish I could go get her, but because of how much magic and torture they took and put me through I can't even move. I himself was in a small cell behind the wall, in which the kids were in front of. He was chained to the wall with very little light. The only source of air was a small vent which he talked to the kids through. Guard. Get in. The guard came and threw Erza inside, and her brother and sisters, or rather the children she lived with, called out to her, but the girl was devastated. They had taken Jellal. Show. I can't take it anymore. Guard. Quite crying kid. Izuku. It'll be alright. Show. Guard. Shut it. Show. Leave me alone. Suddenly Jellal's words echoed through Erza's mind. We have to fight, and her eyes widened. Simon. What are you doing? Suddenly Erza took a shovel and smashed the guard with it, sending him and two other soldiers out the cell. Guard. Mutiny. He shouted with a cracked mask and one lost tooth. Simon. What's gotten into you? Erza. Find a weapon, we can't escape, and they won't set us free, so to escape we need to fight for our lives, for our freedom. Every slave cheered and began to rebel, taking down guard after guard. Meanwhile I sat looking at the wall in front of him with a tired smile as a green fire emerged from his eyes. End of flashback. Erza. So we took a stand for our freedom, we took a stand to save our dear friend Jellal. But little did we know something changed with him. His entire personality could only be explained as pure unadulterated evil. Flashback. While Jellal was getting tortured but didn't say a word, something came to him and began to change him. It was supposedly their god's era through his hatred. Meanwhile outside everyone was stitching up the wounded and helping others. Erza. Come on, we need to set everyone in Sector 8 free, we can't owe it. Simon. No, we can't, we could never beat that many guards. Erza. We have to, that's the only way we will be able to save Jellal. Bully suddenly came to Simon and began to tell him that Erza had a thing for Jellal. Simon. Hey Erza, you don't have a crush on Jellal, do you? Erza gasped in shock at his question before looking at I, who was listening in on their talk, while sitting against a rock with a girl whom had white hair and some strange feathers on her sitting on his lap asleep. Erza blushed and continued. Erza. No, never, and why would you ask me that? She asked, hoping to God that I didn't think she liked anyone else. Simon. Sorry, but I just wanted to make sure because. Suddenly an explosion came, sending Simon flying with a broken jaw and Erza, who defended herself with a shield. Walkie. Where did that come from? Milana. Look up there. Show. Magic soldiers. Suddenly a fleer of magic soldiers arrived and began sending attacks at everyone, causing them to run, except for Erza, who pleaded for them to fight with her, until one pushed her onto the ground. Suddenly the fleet aimed at her. Simon. Erza. Show. Watch out. The magic soldiers fired, however something sent them flying back at the soldiers, causing a giant explosion. Erza. Gasp I. My magic may not be as strong as it once was, but I will never hurt another person ever again. Simon. Whoa, did you see that? Milana. Yeah, show. He reflected their magic back. I coughed out blood and fell to the ground as Erza came to him. Erza. Are you alright? Yes, I may be some kid, but deep down I've still got a lot of fight in me. I placed his hand on Erza's cheek and began to caress it. As a wizard, my magic has always been intertwined with my magic, but the true source of my power, Erza, was you. Izuku got up holding his sword ready to battle. It was a large silver blade that looked like a wing, but the handle was like that of a rapier, and a large green crystal was embedded inside of it. Suddenly the memories of her and I began to replay in Erza's mind, all the times he made her smile with his grandpa and other times when she would be embarrassed after he'd flirt with her. Erza. Hey, do you promise to always love me and make me your wife in the future? He's sure, Erza. Simon. What? How could you? Simon began TP punch the wall to hit I as everyone laughed at the two. After that memory fled her mind, I was seen standing in front of Erza holding his sword in a battle stance. Your beautiful smile and that promise we made were the only thing keeping me sane in this horrid plague after Grandpa Rob died. Erza. You're hurt, aren't you? Remember this, your freedom lies within your heart, Erza. Suddenly the magic soldiers began to fire hundreds upon hundreds of attacks at I, who didn't budge as the tears of blood ran down his face. Remember this, follow your heart and your dreams of being a wizard will come true. I turned to Erza with a smile and tears on his face. I love you, Erza. And with that he was destroyed by their attacks, and his one beautiful sword which brightened the darkness fell to the ground smoking. Goodbye, Erza. Erza. And like that I watched a man I loved die. Little Erza stared at the sword in the ground with tears streaming down her face before she screamed, releasing pure magic energy in a crimson circle. All the tools were lifted and thrown at the guards and soldiers, taking them all down. Erza. You knew, didn't you? You always knew, and I love you too. Using that power, Erza went after Jellal only to find that he changed and threw her out the tower, threatening her that if she ever came back, he'd kill all her friends. But what hurt her the most was leaving the sword of her love in that place. End of flash. Izuku. Is that why you were always so kind to me even when you didn't know me? Because. Erza. Yes, because you looked like I. Tears fell from Erza's eye as he bangs covered her left eye. Erza. I have to fight Jellal, I have no choice, I have to do it. The group could only show sympathy for Erza, who was still broken from watching I die. The group began to discuss the wicked sorcerer that Jellal wanted to revive Zareth, whom created the demons that caused so much mass destruction, and how Zareth would take them to heaven, then remake the world and them its rulers. Lucy. Hey, wait a minute, why do they think that you betrayed them? Don't they know Jellal is the bad guy? Erza. It isn't their fault, I'm sure Jellal fed them all sorts of lies when I left, but that doesn't change the fact that I left them so long ago. In the end you could say I did betray them. Lucy. Because he threatened to kill them if you ever came back, you couldn't have saved them. Erza. None of that matters anymore, I will defeat Jellal, leave it to me, okay? Little did they know that Gray and Izuku could both feel that she was hiding something. Sho suddenly came forward angry and believing Erza was lying to them. Sho. Sister, that's not true, why are you lying to them? Erza. Sho. You think by making yourself a martyr you're gonna get sympathy from your friends? Tell them the truth, that's not what happened, and you know it. You blew up the ships and left on your own. We would have ended up at the bottom of the sea if it wasn't for Jellal. He saved us. He warned us not to trust wizards like you who didn't know how to control their powers. Gray. Did you ever think that he may be lying to you? Lucy. If you truly knew Erza, then you'd know she'd never do something so horrible. Sho took a step back, shocked with tears in his eye. He spoke. You only think you know her. You weren't there back then. After you left, Jellal's words were my only salvation. And that's why I spent all these years to finish the tower. It's all been for him. You're meaning to tell me that everything he told us was a lie, that he was using us this whole time? Simon. That's right. The group turned to see Simon behind Sho, and as someone spoke to the group Izuku zoned out from a voice telling him, go to the center of the tower. Simon and Erza had finished their reunion, and with that the group left in hopes of finding and defeating Jellal. Part 17. The group had run up the tower from the stairs. Sho had seemed distant from the rest. As they continued their way up, Simon couldn't contact his friends, which caused some distress, but nonetheless, they made it to the center of the building. There they found Jellal speaking to them through the microphone, and he admitted to wanting to use Erza as a sacrifice to resurrect Zeref. What made the matters worse was Sho, who trapped Erza in a card and made a run for it, with Simon chasing after him. Izuku. Damn it, okay Gray, go for Simon. Bray. What but? Izuku. Do it, I get the feeling he'll need your help. Bray. Fine. Bray left to help Simon. Izuku. Lucy, Juvia, I want you two to go together, see if you can find something to escape through in case needed, with the Etherion blast coming and all. Juvia. But I don't want to work with her or leave you, my darling Izuku. Izuku. Thank you for the worry, Juvia, but please I need you to do this for me, he asked with desperation in his voice, to which she accepted in a flash. Izuku. Great, oh, and Lucy, take Aries with you, she's very strong. Lucy. Alright, thanks Izuku. Izuku nodded as the two left, which allowed him to walk through the right door and entered a room where he found the sword of ice stuck inside a boulder with chains wrapped around it, connected from the sword to the roof, so nothing could touch it. He waked to the blade in attempts to grab, but something stopped him, or rather a blade did. Izuku. What the? In front of Izuku was Spinner. Spinner. I see you were also transported to this strange world Midoriya. Izuku. Damn it Spinner, I need you to get out of my way. Spinner. I'm sorry, despite Stain's judgment of you I am not in our homeworld, and in the name of justice I must kill you now, die. Spinner charged at Izuku, swinging his sword down only for Izuku to vanish and reappear, shattering Spinner's sword, and then twist midair. Izuku. One for all, 20% smash. Spinner was smashed into the ground by Izuku, who began to walk to the sword, that is till his foot was grabbed, and he was lifted, then slammed into the ground multiple times, and then thrown into the wall. Getting up, Izuku looked over and saw Spinner, but now larger, more muscular and scarier. Spinner in a deeper voice. This is my magic reptile king. Izuku. Damn it, get out of my way. The two charged at each other. Izuku. Smash. Spinner. DAE. They both smashed their fists into the others, causing the entire floor to shake and a blue sphere of wind pressure to build up and explode. Izuku charged at Spinner at 30% and began to punch him extremely fast. Izuku. Graya. Spinner. Enough. Izuku laid in the ground covered in blood as Spinner began to smash him again and again. Spinner. I am a member of Trinity Raven, I will kill you. Fight to get up. Izuku. Who are you? It doesn't matter now, stand. Izuku. I can't. It doesn't matter because a hero always wins. Do it, save Erza. Izuku. To protect Erza, we must be. Izuku. True heroes. Izuku. Get the hell off of me. Izuku smashed Spinner in the face, but lightning came out of his hand, sending the reptile sky high. Izuku. To be a hero. Izuku jumped up and grabbed Spinner before spinning him around and smashing him into the ground Nomu style, and then landing right beside him. Izuku. I will never lose again. I will protect all that I love and care for, even at the cost of my life. Izuku. Because that's what it means to be a hero. The entire tower was made to rumble, and everyone fell to the ground in fear, questioning the sudden quake which befell on them, and Spinner screamed as he flew up, Spinner blasting off again. Meanwhile, Jellal was left in complete shock at Izuku's strength, who stood in 100%. Izuku's skin and bones began to heal as he fell to his knees in pain, huffing and puffing before looking up at the massive hole in the wall with a large smirk. Izuku. I won't let you take anything from me ever again. That I promise. I will save Erza, and never again will anyone take her smile away. And with that, Izuku took a few steps towards the sword and held its grip, only to be covered by a bright light. Deku opened his eyes, only to find himself inside an empty black space, and in front of him stood I with a smile. Hello, father, he said, shocking Izuku completely. Now let's take a break and see what Lucy's doing. What hell no, get lost. Izuku. What do you mean, father? I suppose you're confused. How well, okay, in our universe there are thousands if not hundreds of dimensions, and in all of them there is a hero, someone born with nothing but rises to earn a power, someone who strives to protect everyone with their life. This person, all of them, is you, children, as you are the first, or rather the reincarnation of the hero god. Izuku. Me, the hero god? What's that? Well, you see, father, in the beginning, there was nothing, and then something began to grow in the emptiness. He was the first god, the father of the gods if you would, and he created everything, but he felt alone, so he created humans, and along with the humans, gods. Amongst those gods was the goddess of all beauty and power, who developed emotions which weren't supposed to happen, but she wasn't the only one. In fact, the god of love and bravery fell for her. They came together and had a child who grew to be more powerful than the two. The original god decided to name you another celestial being, the god of heroes, and like your parents, you found something, love, but not for another celestial, but for a mortal, so to be with her, you decided to go to Earth. However, the original was enraged and made the hero god choose between all the universe course, and her you being you decided her, but the moment you lost all your power, you also transferred all your power into a single egg within one woman of every world, universe and dimension, creating us. Your children, you are the reincarnation and our father. Izuku was in complete shock but composed himself and asked a serious question. Izuku? Then tell me, why are we in this world and why is it connected to me? Because before you this world had no hero, so for the universe to work properly and not come to ruin, one of your children were brought here and died. I came after him and died. So when you both our memories float into you. Izuku. So none of them belong to me, my emotions. Izuku asked himself, looking down, clenching his fist. Wrong, they are yours because our emotions, everything originates from you, so my love for Erza is in fact your love for her. Izuku. That's good to hear, but before anything else tell me how you lived before coming here. Well, you see, when I was born my name was Basara, and I lived a pretty great life. I fell in love with multiple girls who felt the same, had children with them, and lived till an old age. When I died, I lived with no regrets. That's why I wanted to die here. I wanted to finally rest. Father, I beg you please. But before I continue, Izuku hugged him tightly with a smile. Izuku. I'm so happy you got to live like that, really I am. I was in shock and happiness before hugging his father. Father, before I leave I just wanted to give you my power. Izuku. What do you mean? You see, father, like you I had a similar curse, but it only affected the girls whom I loved. You see, the more I ended up pleasuring them, the more powerful I grew. Along with that power came a cost. You see, the curse only activated when one of my girls feels something or tries something against me. My power eventually grew to the point that it rivaled that of a god and a demon king. However, due to my death, that power has shifted, taking its own form instead of residing in my sword, and now it's in your body, so you have power above 100%, but it only comes when you give everything you have and push your body to its maximum limit. Izuku, that's so cool, thanks Basara. Basara. No problem, Dad. Also, I've healed your body and stamina and given you 10 minutes to use one for all at 100%, and now all my memories are in you, so you'll finally understand everything. Izuku. I understand, thank you and goodbye. Basara hugged Izuku before disappearing, causing Izuku to wake up with a sword in hand. Reality. Izuku. Incoming Erza. But that Izuku ran to Erza while the sword disappeared, turning into a green glass-like matter, and then nothing. Izuku got further and further down the hallway before stopping and then shacking. Izuku. What is this? I feel like there are some crazy chick and water involved. I don't know why, but I am sorry, he said, going down on his knees pleading forgiveness. For some reason he could hear Lucy and Juvia scream sorry as well to the same thing that saved them. If you don't understand, he's scared of Aquarius. Let's just say they met once and oh god is he afraid. Izuku. No time. So picking himself up, Izuku continues to run. He got outside the tower to find stairs leading to the top, so taking them he sprinted up and found Simon and Natsu on the way. Izuku. What happened? You two look like crap. Simon. Well, we battled a member of Trinity Raven. He was beaten by Gray, and then the entire building began to shake. Do you know why? Izuku. Oh yeah, sorry, I kinda smashed a guy through the tower causing the shake. Natsu. What, that was you? Happy? You're the coolest. Izuku. He chuckled while rubbing the back of his head. Izuku. Up these stairs. I'm guessing Erza and Jellal are fighting. Simon. Yes. Izuku. So hold on, I'm guessing Natsu is gonna be the one to defeat Jellal. Simon. Yes. Natsu. You bet. Izuku. No, I am. The two looked at Izuku in shock, but he was completely serious. Simon, enraged, slammed Izuku into the wall. Simon. What's the matter with you? You claim to be Erza's friend, but you refuse to let anyone help her. Izuku. Yes. Simon. Why? Izuku grabbed his wrist and looked at Simon in the eye when Simon finally understood Izukus' reasoning. Simon. You couldn't be him. Izuku. Hey little bro. Simon felt tears drip down his face. Izuku, was I this whole time? Simon. Izuku, I beg you, save Erza. Izuku. Of course. And Natsu. Natsu was angry and about to scream when Izuku called his name. Izuku. Protect our friends for me. Natsu was about to argue, but instead nodded. He knew Izuku had his reason, he could smell it. Izuku. Now go to the others, do you hear me? Go now. The two ran away. They knew that Izuku would most likely not come back. Continuing his way up, Izuku stopped when the bright blue light of Etherion came down on him and the tower, but instead of destruction what stood was a diamond tower instead of the metal tower of heaven. Izuku. Damn it, I am coming. Erza. Part 18. Erza was about to be eaten by the Etherion crystal with tears in her eyes when she was pulled out by our main man Izuku Midoriya. Woo. Izuku. I got you. Erza. Huh. Izuku. Erza is very important to me, I won't let you touch her. Jellal looked at Izuku questionably. Izuku sat on the ground with Erza's head laying on his lap. Izuku. Man, what are you doing hanging out with this loser? If you don't hurry up and come back, I think Mira's gonna really lose it. Believe me, you don't want her to be angry, otherwise I think I'd die. Izuku said as he shivered a bit. Erza. Sorry, but I can't move. Izuku. Oh no. A mischievous idea came to mind as Izuku began to tickle Erza and laugh at her giggling from him. Izuku. That what you get for always frowning, haha. Erza. This is serious, hahaha, stop fooling around, hahaha, stop it. Izuku stopped as Erza turned to him with a smile that vanished and was replaced by a serious expression. Erza. Izuku, you gotta get out of here as fast as you can. Izuku. I'm not leaving you. If you can't do the fighting by yourself, then I'll fight for you. Erza. You can't, he's too strong and you don't know anything about him. Izuku. That's where you're wrong, Erza. Izuku looked Erza in the eye and replayed everything between him and Idaho, which shocked her. Erza. You mean, Izuku? Yeah, I'm sorry for leaving you, Erza. Erza. I miss so much. Izuku. Yeah, me too now then. Erza. Please don't do this, Izuku, don't leave me again. She was about to cry as she spoke, but then, Izuku. I'm sorry, Erza. Izuku said, picking her up and then punching her in the gut, knocking her out, shocking Jellal. Jellal. You're even foolhardier than the rumors make you out to be. What kind of sick satisfaction do you get from striking a defenseless friend? Izuku. I had to do it because she was about to cry. Suddenly the wind started to generate around Izukus' fist as he spoke. Izuku. To me, Erza is one of the most incredible people I have ever met. She's beautiful, strong, smart, rash, kind, and generous. She's a loyal person who isn't afraid to give everything to her friends. I promised myself to protect her smile. I want her to wake up after this nightmare is finished so she can finally be happy, and so for that to happen, I will take you down. Jellal. Oh, is that a challenge? Consider my interest piqued. I would love to witness the power of a hero. Izuku. Graw smash. Jellal dodged a kick, but the wind pressure sent him flying only for him to land on his feet and skid on the ground till he stopped when Izuku appeared above him. Izuku. Delaware smash. Jellal was smashed in the ground, but the impact was so strong that it made him bounce back up, to which Izuku rebounded into the air and kick him back into the ground, destroying it. Jellak. Airg. Deku backflipped to the front of Erza and looked towards Jellal, who seemed to get up with no problem, shocking him completely. Jellal. I expected more from you, Izuku Midori, a son of Hisashi, or rather the first hero. Hisashi Midori equals you as the first hero, or rather the first man to be called a true hero. Basically he's like Gilgamesh, but can do other things like fire breathing. He is very powerful. Jellal. I was hoping to witness the pure power of a hero before ripping you to shreds with my bare hands, but if that's all you got then I won't waste my time. Izuku. I'll show you, he shouted before charging at Jellal at full speed. Jellal. You must be punished for interrupting the ceremony. Prepare to be destroyed by my heavenly body magic. Jellal began to fly and smash into Izuku, causing the boy to miss his attacks and get winded. Not even one for all stood a chance. Izuku. I won't lose to you. Izukus shot up at Jellal and began to increase his power. 110%, 140%, 200%. Izuku. Jellal. Izuku. Izuku. Take this. However, before Izuku could take a breath, Jellal grabbed his foot and threw him down to the ground. Izuku coughed out blood as he laid on the ground bleeding and bruised. Jellal. And now face the true power of darkness, magic 7-star sword Grand Chariot. Izuku. Jellal came down to Izuku, who was lying on his face, completely taken down. His arms and legs were mangled and bleeding. Jellal. That spell packs as much punch as a fallen meteor. I'm surprised he's in one piece, but not completely fine. I suppose that was a little much. Better stop now, though the R system can't take any more damage, since any more would cause it to be useless. I can feel the magic just draining out. Already, I'll have to hurry, it's time. Erza. Suddenly stones were thrown at Jellal, small pebbles to be exact, causing him to turn to Izukus, whose arms and legs were now fixed and not destroyed, but his skin was still purple, pushing himself off the ground. Izuku. Feel that was my sneak attack. Now that this tower's one giant crystal, I guess destroying it would screw up your plans. Izuku said with a smirk and earning a gasp from Jellal. Izuku. This is not your day, buddy. He finished before smashing his first into the ground, causing cracks to appear everywhere. Jellal. What are you doing? Izuku. Don't you know fairy tale wizards are known for destroying things? I think it's time I start joining the family. Izuku. I won't let you touch Erza. Jellal. You won't get in my way. This will be the end of you. I've dreamed of this day, and I won't let a wannabe hero spoil it for me. Izuku. Sorry man, but I'm a pretty tough kid. If you think you can touch me, then come get me. Jellal. Graw. Jellal fired several beams of light at Izuku, who simply dodged them all. Izuku. Too slow. He jumped into the air, saw Jellal and charged. Izuku. I got you. No. About to punch, Izuku reeled his fist back and dived at the blue-haired bastard, only for Jellal to send Izuku packing with a yellow surge of power like lightning. The attack sent Izuku smashing into a wall and grunting in pain. The explosion sound and vibrations woke up Erza. Izuku charged back at Jellal with a smile. Izuku. What's so scared for your tower that you won't give it your all? That won't work against me. Jellal got even more pissed and sent a yellow burst at Izuku, which caused the boy to backflip and land on his feet. Izuku. Delaware smash. The tower began to shatter more and more than before. From that one attack, some smoke and shards could be seen falling outside as well, angering Jellal even more. Erza thoughts. He's aiming for the tower. Izuku looked up with a smirk as Jellal shook in anger. Jellal. Now I'm angry I didn't spend years building this tower just for some punk to come to tear it down. I won't let you. Izuku was huffing and puffed, his arms completely black and red now as he spoke. Izuku. Tough break, pal. I told you fairy tailors are famous for breaking things. Erza thoughts. Careful, Izuku, you're weak, you barely have the strength to stand. Jellal. I'll make you pay. He shouted before raising his hands in a cross position when a gust of wind came pushing Izuku and Erza back. Erza. Gasp. Izuku. Whoa, something weird going on with this magic, it's making me feel sick. Erza thoughts. Why's my shadow bending towards the light? Erza. That spell, it could kill Izuku. Jellal. And now I'll plunge you into infinite darkness, Hero King. Erza. Don't do it, otherwise you'll kill me too. She shouted before going in front of Izuku to protect him. Erza. You wouldn't want to lose your sacrifice, would you? Jellal. True, that would be unpleasant. The sacrifice requires a wizard comparable strength to the 10 wizard saints, but I can't find another. I'll worry about that after I kill both of you. Izuku. Watch out, what are you doing? Erza. It's my fault you're in this mess, Izuku. This time I will protect you. Izuku. Get out of the way. Jellal. Heavenly body magic Alteris. Izuku. Erza. But someone stopped the attack and protected them. It was Simon, and then there was an explosion, causing the top to blow up. Izuku. It's you. Ezra's memories of I dying in the past came back to her mind. Erza. Why Simon? Simon. To save you. Erza. Simon. She ran to Simon and held him as he lay dying. Izuku thoughts. No, not again. Erza. Why didn't you escape with the others? Why Simon, talk to me. Simon. Don't cry, it's okay, I'm happy to give my life for you. Cough, 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 cough. Simon. You were the only person who made me smile. Erza. Don't die on me. Simon looked at Erza only to see her as a little girl again with a smile. Little Erza. Simon. Erza. Simon. Simon began to cry as he thought his last words, I've always loved you. Erza broke down crying, screaming Simon to wake the boy up, only he never did, and Izuku could only stare in despair. Erza. No. Jellal. Ha 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 ha, what a perfectly foolish thing to do. He tried to play the hero, but his death won't change a thing. Simon gave his own life to save yours, but he should have known. I'm not letting either of you leave this tower alive. Izuku. Shut the hell up. Jellal. Gah. Izuku smashed his hand into the ground and began to absorb the Etherion energy and finally completed one for all. Jellal. I can't believe this, he's absorbing the Etherion energy. Izuku. Roar. Izuku. Jaya. Izukus' body began to absorb too much Etherion, causing him to have a seizure and hold his head screaming in pain. Erza. How can you be so foolish? Your body will absorb the Etherion energy and destroy itself from too much of it. Jellal. If he kills himself, it'll certainly make my life much easier. Now instead of drying, Izukus' body began to give off a silver aura which burst. His back was facing Jellal, and when he turned to look at him, Izukus' glare scared the blue-haired fool. Jellal shook a little from the bloodlustful anger coming from the boy, who then burst into lightning and then came out in the second form of the full lightning cowling. Now the real fight begins. Chapter 19. Izuku stood staring at Jellal, who stood in shock. Jellal. Unbelievable, somehow his body completely merged with the Ethernano. Izuku moved at the speed of light itself, smashing into Jellal and causing a massive explosion, nearly blowing Erza away. Izukus then bounced off like lightning and jumped off the roof at Jellal, grabbing his head and smashing through several floors. Izuku. You made Erza cry. I am not gonna let you get away with that. Do it again and I'll kill you. Jellal. Your threats don't scare me, Meteor. He shouted, using his spell to fly up at Mach speed. Izuku stopped himself using the air and jumped up, moving like lightning towards Jellal, who grew pissed off and used his magic to send an enormous boulder at Izuku. Jellal. You'll never be able to catch me at this rate of speed. Izuku. Don't count on it. Izuku shattered the boulder and got Jellal, whom he smashed his fist into and sent flying through the roof beside Erza, only for Jellal to kick him off. Jellal. I won't lose, not to you. In my time of desperation, I could hear Lord Zareth calling out to me. There's a reason only I could hear him. It's because I am the chosen one. I am destined to create a land of freedom. Izuku. And you'll do that by taking away the rest of the rights of everyone else in the world. Jellal. If that's what it takes to build a better world, then so be it. I could care less about all these weakling or the Magic Council. Izuku. Gasp. Erza. He's casting an abyss break, but why? You'll destroy the tower so many died to create. Jellal. This tower means nothing now that I've done it. I can build another in half the time. Lord Zareth, your hour is near. Izuku. I won't let you. Jellal. What the? Jellal looked above him only to see Izuku and then a rain of fists. Izuku. 100 smash. The other in the shop was staring at the sky in shock, as well as Erza. Ray. It's raining punches. Erza. Amazing. Jellal had been punched 100 times and was left a bleeding mess when Izuku decided to end it all, so going below Jellal in a flash, Izuku rose up again, but this time a green dragon formed around him. Izuku. You'll never understand true freedom until you free yourself from that spirit. I know you can do it, Jellal. Free yourself. Jellal was embedded in the ground of the Tower of Heaven, and Izuku's Superman landed on the ground. Erza. So this is the power that he kept inside. Izuku stood up and screamed for all to hear. Erza. The true power of a hero. He was able to defeat Jellal. He ended this nightmare. Now Sho and others can finally be free. Izuku fell to his knees unconscious when Erza ran and hugged his head, putting it in her beasts. The lightning around him vanished. Erza. I knew you'd find your hidden strength, she told him before the building began to collapse and the Etherion was being fired out. So Erza picked Izuku up and tried to get out with him, but she realized even if she did they'd still die, so she did the only thing she could. She began to put herself into the Etherion in order to redirect it. That's when Izuku woke up. Izuku. Erza, what are you doing? I don't understand. Are you trying to go back into that thing? Erza. I don't have a choice, it's the only way to stop it. Izuku. Stop what? The building began to shake. Erza. Now you get it, the Aether Nano is absorbing more magic, the Lacrima will not be able to hold it, so I need to merge my body with the Etherion and redirect it. Izuku. I won't let you do that, there has to be another way to stop it. Erza. Airg. She screamed louder as her body began to be absorbed even more. Izuku. No. Erza screamed even more, and Izuku ran to her. Don't do it, he shouted before falling onto the ground unable to stand. Erza. I have to, she said placing her hand on his cheek with a smile on his face. Erza. I can't even imagine what my life would have been like without Fairy Tail. If it weren't for you and the others I probably wouldn't be here today. I hope you know how important you are to me. I love you all so much, especially you Izuku. I waited for so long and you're back, you're here. I'm so happy. Izuku. Erza. Erza. That's why I'm willing to make the ultimate sacrifice if it means my loved ones would be spared. I'd gladly give my life so that you may live, she said before going in completely and sinking deeper into the Etherion, while Izuku banged on the ice to get her out, screaming to her with tears. Izuku. Erza. And with that, the Etherion was fired out completely to the top with Erza. Erza was in a completely white dress as she watched Fairy Tail give her a funeral, but Natsu losing it and shouting that she isn't dead, all of them stopping Natsu while they cried. Erza. I sacrificed myself cause I thought it'd make the future better for them. I never thought things would end this way so they could go home happily. Wait, where is Izuku? She thought to herself before the scene changed to reveal Izuku standing on a cliff looking out before falling to his knees. Izuku. It happened again. Izuku looked up revealing tears. Izuku. She's dead because of me, I was too weak. Erza. That's not true. Izuku. In no hero. Erza. Yes you are. Izuku. In nothing but a damn useless Deku, he told himself crying when Erza tried to hug him. Erza. I didn't want this, why? Please end this all, please someone save me from this nightmare. Suddenly a hand appeared in front of her and she woke up in the ocean, however this time she was in the same clothing as before, she was back in the real world. Erza. Where am I? Everyone. Erza, hahaha. Erza. No, this makes no sense. Does this mean I'm still alive? Gasp. She turned to see Izuku holding her, however his arm and a little of his face was completely burned like the Iron Man from the Infinity Stones. Erza thoughts. Izuku, you saved me again, she said staring at him with a teardrop in her eye. Erza thoughts. I was lost in that sea of magical energy and you were still able to find me. Short recap. Izuku stood in front of the beam of Etherion heading to the sky with a single thought in mind. Izuku. I love you Erza and I refuse to lose you again. Reeling his fist back, Izuku drew all the power he had in him into his hand. Suddenly the same green arcs began to flow around him and with all the power he had in him he shouted. Izuku. 100,000,000% smash. The massive blue beam began to split as Izuku's fist dug deeper and deeper into it, shattering the diamond which absorbed Erza. Izuku. Erzaiah. He screamed as a quarter of his face began to smolder and burn up. He screamed in pain and never stopped for a second until he found her, and when he pulled her out, he hugged the girl and held her close. Seeing the tears on her face, he used his one unburned hand to caress her face and wipe her tears. Izuku. I will never let go of you ever again. And the light destroyed everything around the two. End of recap. Izuku. I feel the same way you do. Erza remembered the words she said about Fairy Tail. Izuku. And I know everyone else does too. Izuku. Promise me you won't do something like that again. Erza. I won't. Izuku. Promise. He shouted as his voice broke, revealing that he was crying. Izuku. Promise you won't leave me again, never again. Erza. I promise, thank you Izuku, she said placing her forehead against his with a smile as he cried. Erza. This experience has taught me a very important lesson. You don't die for your friends, you live for them, cause the future wouldn't be as bright without them, she said before turning to the group with a smile on her face. Part 20. Within one of the hotel rooms, Natsu, Happy, Erza, Lucy, and Gray are sitting around a table while bandaged up Izuku is sleeping soundly on the bed. Gray. You think he's gonna be alright? Lucy. I can't believe he's been sleeping for the last 2 days. Gray. Yeah well, that's what he gets for eating all that Aether Nano. Natsu. Yeah well, so what, I could have taken down Jellal without absorbing the Aether Nano. Lucy. Oh for sure, she said in a sarcastic tone. Natsu. What? Gray. Tell that to the chicken assassin which practically ate you alive. Natsu. Shut up, if I wanted to I could take Izuku down no sweat. Suddenly Izuku got up in seconds and shouted, Izuku. Just you try it, say that again and I'll smack ya. Happy? You're awake, Izuku? Ugh. And like that, he was sleeping again. Natsu? That punk woke up for a fight, let me at him. Lucy? Ahahaha. She laughed loudly at the silly trio as Erza could only smile. Erza? I know I've already said this, but I'm sorry for causing so much trouble. Lucy? Oh, you don't have to keep apologizing to us. Erza then turned to Gray, who was leaning back while Natsu argued. Erza? Where's your friend? I wanted to thank her. Gray? You talking about Juvia? She left a while ago. She said she wanted to talk to Gramps about signing up for the guild. Erza? I see. Izuku woke up a short while after they had spoken. Erza had left to the beach shore, where her old friends were. Gray guided Izuku to where all the food was so he could replenish his strength. Erza had joined the group with her old friends. In order for them to meet the group, her old friends were a little uncomfortable because they believed everyone would hate them, but Izuku and other treated them like nothing happened to shock the group. They even ended up hugging Izuku with tears after he revealed that he was Basra from another life and remembers when he was there. Izuku decided that he'd like to go outside for a breather, in which Erza noticed something about his expression. He wasn't looking with a smile, but a frown as his hair shadowed his eyes. The reason as to why remained unknown to her, but the action he took of clenching his fist in anger, regret, and sadness, walking out with nothing left to show. The boy had thought himself nothing but a child, hoping or rather believing that he was not a hero. He knew that you can't save everyone, but even so, he could never forgive the sin of letting someone die when he had the power to stop it. Although fate could be cruel, it could also be forgiving. But Izuku thoughts. I couldn't help but feel useless. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for being so useless, so powerless. Damn it, I am sorry. Erza? Izuku. Midoriya turned to find Erza walking to him with a worried expression on her face. Oh, how it hurt him to see that face. She took a seat beside him and turned to face the boy looking away. Izuku. I'm sorry. Erza? Huh. Izuku. I am sorry, damn it, why am I so useless? Erza pushed Izuku down and sat on top of him only to find the boy crying. Izuku. If I had been stronger, if I wasn't afraid, then maybe Simon would still be alive. Erza. Shut up. Izuku looked up only to see Erza looking at him in tears as well. Erza. You protected me, saved me, you showed me that as long as you have the strength to push through, then you can beat anything. Erza. You are my hero, Izuku. Even when I was a child I dreamed of a Prince Charming coming to rescue me, and it was you, it was always you. Izuku. Erza. He said quietly as she caressed his face. Erza. My hero King Izuku. Midoriya of Fairy Tail. Erza placed her forehead against his with their nose touching. She said. Erza. I love you, Izuku. Izuku smiled softly at the girl before sitting up and hugging her. The two stayed like that for a while, till Izuku fell asleep, so Erza took him back to the room, while she and the rest sent of Sho and the others preparing for the next day. Part 21. Now in the Fairy Tail Guild Hall, Izuku, Erza, Gray, Lucy, Natsu and Happy have finally arrived, and they were all left gasping. Lucy? Wow. Erza? Well, this is a surprise. Everyone? They finished building it. Gray? There it is, Fairy Tail's new guild hall. The group began to walk in when they stopped in front of the first new thing. Izuku? Are you kidding me, we got a cafe now, he said as they all looked to the people sitting outside all eating food from the cafe. Natsu was left in shock and happiness. That's when Lucy noticed the gift shop. Lucy? They got a gift shop too. Max, who was working in the gift shop, looked at the group with a large smile. Max? Hey there, it's been a while. Happy? They got you working at the gift shop, Max. It's been a while since we've seen you around the guild. Max? Yeah, master wanted me to go back to business school. Lucy? You're Max Lors, she called out as he turned to her with a smile. Lucy? I've read all about you in Sorcerer Weekly. Max? Yes ma, and that'd be me, and you know I've heard a lot about you, Lucy, as well as you, Izuku. Lucy began to freak out a little at that. Lucy? I don't want to know about the kind of things they told you. Happy? So what kind of stuff are you selling here? Max? Haha, we've got t-shirts, wristbands, mugs, towels, and of course there's our most popular item. Happy could be seen seated on the bench holding a Lucy action figure. Lucy? You and no one ever asked me if I was cool with that. Max? She's posable and her clothes come off. Lucy? Scream. Max? But an item more popular than anything else amongst the girls and kids is an Izuku in a box. Max? It comes in normal or Nico, which cries and smiles. Izuku? The hell is this contraption? Izuku asked, checking out the bag identical to his old one with a mini him inside. He opened the bag and little Izuku came out and hid back inside. Erza thoughts. So cute. Erza? Max, how much for one? Max? 200 jewels. Erza gave him the money and immediately took the Nico Izuku bag, and when she opened it, she snuggled with the cutie patty cat. Max? Now they're all sold out. Inside the guild hall, everyone was dancing around. Happy Lucy? Pretty. Erza? I could get used to this, she said, still hugging Nico Izuku. Izuku? Same. Meanwhile, Natsu was sulking in the back. Gray? Hey man, what's wrong? Natsu? I'm not good with change. Suddenly a girl with blue hair and an orange dress ran up and hugged Izuku tightly. Levi. Izuku. Izuku. Levi. He said, hugging her back till they separated, and Levi hugged Lucy. Levi. I missed you, Lou. Lucy. Hi Levi. Levi. Guess what? Now we've got a swimming pool, she said, magically appearing in a bikini while standing in front of the pool where a few members were. Romeo. Welcome back. Biska. Hey Izuku. Hi Biska. Alzak was growling at Izuku from behind, Biska clearly jealous. In the basement game room. Levi. And we've even got a game room down in the basement. Macau. You're back. Okaba. Took you long enough. Lucy. Does it need to be this big? Natsu. I don't like it. Back in the main hall. Levi. But the biggest change is upstairs, she said, directing their direction to the second floor. Levi. Cause now everyone's allowed to go up to the second floor. Elfman. Yo, oh hey big bro, he said enthusiastically. Lucy. Oh wow. Izuku. Hey Elfman. Levi. Master actually lets more of us go on S-class quests, provided an S-class wizard decided to come along. That's when the master came forward. Makarov. Well, I'm glad you dunderheads made it back safely, he said as they looked towards him. Erza. Master. The group then gasped lightly when they saw the blue-haired mage Juvia standing beside him with her hair cut and in a dress. Makarov. I'd like you to meet the newest fairy tale member, Juvia, isn't she a cutie? Juvia. I can't wait to work with you. Izuku immediately rushed to hug Juvia, causing her to blush and a few girls to get jealous. Izuku. I'm glad you're here, Juvia. Erza. Thank you so much for your help in a cave. Juvia. No, I should be thanking you because now I've found a new guild, she said with a beautiful smile. Lucy. Hey girl. Juvia. We will fight for Izuku, she said, radiating a killer aura until Izuku flicked her forehead, causing her to pout. Izuku. Calm down Juvia, you don't need to get so scary like that, just get along with Lucy, please. Juvia. Anything for you my darling. Makarov. We've also added another new member to the guild, someone you might recognize. The group turned to the fine Gadgil sitting on a table with a glare. Happy. I wonder who it is. Lucy. Gasp. Gray. What are you kidding me? Natsu. Gadgil. Natsu and Gray took defensive stances as Juvia came up. Juvia. Calm down, I asked him to come along with me. Erza. I don't mind Juvia, but he's the one responsible for destroying our guild hall. Makarov. Now remember what I've taught you, yesterday's enemy can be tomorrow's friend, right? Levi his behind a table as she spoke. Yeah, if I'm okay with him here, then you should be too. Lucy's team however weren't okay, they were made. Izuku walked to the table, attracting everyone's attention. Izuku. It's nice to meet you Gadgil. Gadgil. Huh. Izuku simply smiled at the black-haired man. Gadgil. Get lost, I don't want to be your body. Izuku's smile turned nervous with a little sweat. Izuku thoughts. Man, this guy has no restraint. Gadgil stood up. Listen here, the only reason I'm here is to get work. I hate this guild and everyone in it, but times are tough, so I had no choice but to join. Izuku simply smiled. It's alright to be tough, but you don't need to be rude. Gadgil. What he said, backing up a little. Izuku. If Juvia cared enough to invite you here, then that means you're her friend, and a friend of hers is a friend of mine, so how about it Gadgil? I look forward to working with you. Izuku kept his smile as the shocked Gadgil shook his hands. Gadgil. Whatever, fine sir. Izuku. Just call me Izuku. Gadgil, I feel more comfortable by calling you sir. Izuku. Alright then. The group stood behind, completely shocked by what just happened. Juvia. He's amazing. Erza. That he is. Makarov. Yes, that my boy, he said in happy tears until the light turned off and then back on, directed at the new guild stage where Mira was seated with a guitar. Izuku. Hey Mira, we're home. Mira. It's great to see you, I missed you Izuku. I'd like to dedicate this song to Fairy Tail's strongest team and their safe return. The entire guild erupted in cheers as she began to sing. As Gadgil's song ended with the entire guild fighting, Mira decided she wanted Izuku to sing. Izuku. Wait, Mira, no, hold on. But it was too late, he was standing on the stage. Izuku. Okay Sai, let's do this. Mira. Hey everyone, Izukus gonna sing. The entire guild stopped fighting and turned to see Izuku standing on the stage about to sing. The entire guild began to dance through the song as Izuku came down and began to dance as well. The entire guild had fun that day, and so did Gadgil. Time skip outside the guild hall in the park. Gadgil, Droy, Levi and Jet. Gadgil. So what's the deal? I don't have all day, so make it fast. Sir is waiting for me so we can go on a job. Jet. We got a bone to pick with you. Droy. Come on guys, can't we just forgive and forget? The duo glared at Gadgil while Levi hid behind the tree. Levi. Maybe he's right guys, I mean now that he's in the guild he's not gonna do it again. Jet. We got to let him know. Roy. He can't mess with us. Gadgil simply smirked. Jet. That's right, go ahead and act tough while you still can, he shouted before charging forward and slamming into Gadgil's chest, sending the guy flying back. Roy. Secret seed knuckle plant. Jet. Flake in heaven soar. Gadgil slammed their feet in the ground and stopped flying back. Jet. What do you think of that, Roy? What happened to the tough guy act? Laxus. You're not giving the new guy a hard time, are ya? The two boys and Gadgil all looked towards Laxus, who walked up with a smirk. Laxus. But seeing as how this is the punk who destroyed our guild hall, I can understand. I bet the old geezer let you join the guild was because he was scared of you wrecking the place again. Laxus walked to Gadgil as veins began to show from his anger. Laxus. We've become the laughing stock of the whole magic community because of you. On my way back from the last job I stopped at some pubs and heard some things that really pissed me off. Everyone was talking about how weak the Fairy Tail Guild was now. No one dared say that about us till you came along. Lighting began to bounce off Laxus as he sent a thunderbolt at Gadgil. Gadgil. Aye. Laxus. Now you're gonna pay. Jet. You're taking this too far. Calm down, man. Roy. I know Laxus is strong and all, but something's not right here. It seems like Gadgil's going down too easy. Jet. I didn't realize it till now. Levy. He's not fighting back, he's letting them get their anger out on him. I think he's trying to get their acceptance. Laxus began stomping on Gadgil with lighting on his feet. Laxus. You NEEVR should have messed with Fairy Tail Punk, cause now you're gonna have to deal with me. Jet. Give it a rest, Laxus, leave him alone. Laxus. I'm not taking orders from you, he shouted before firing a lightning bolt at the three, but instead of hitting Jet and Droy, it was about to hit Levi until something, or rather someone, came and saved her from the smoke. Raised Izuku holding Levi bridal style, with a pissed expression on his face. Laxus. Well, if it isn't the fairy hero Izuku. Izuku vanished and reappeared, punching the ground so hard that it shattered entirely. Laxus used lightning body to appear above Izuku. Laxus. Damn you. Izuku walked away from Laxus and picked Gadgil up. Izuku. Are you alright? Gadgil. Yes sir. Izuku. Okay, let's get you home so you can rest. Laxus and Izuku left that day, both swearing that the other will pay. Part 22. Walking through Magnolia, Izuku, Mira and Makarov are holding supplies for the guild, looking around and enjoying the sights of people smiling while they worked for the harvest festival. Makarov. The whole town is getting into the harvest festival spirit. Mira. And everyone at the guild is preparing as well. Makarov. Of course, people all over town come to see the Fairy Tail Guild's floats. Don't want to disappoint our fans, do we? Mira. It would be nice if Laxus would join us for once. Izuku. What, screw him, it's like you don't even want me here. Izuku said, heartbroken, till Mira kissed his cheek. Mira. My heart's you alone, she whispered in his ear till Makarov intervened. Makarov. The less said about that bum the better. Izuku. Agreed. Mira. I've heard from Levi and Izu that he's back in town. Even if he says no, it wouldn't hurt to ask him. Izuku. No, it wouldn't hurt to invite him, I'll hurt him instead. Makarov. He came back. Mira looked at Izuku as if saying seriously, causing him to back down. Meanwhile, Makaro was remembering when Laxus was just a little kid and how he loved both the guild and the harvest festival more than anything, so the two waited for Makarov to snap out of it when they heard a kid say when he grew up, he joined Fairy Tail. I'm skipping the guild. A massive crowd stood in front of the stage within the Fairy Tail hall when Max came out. Max. The long wait is finally over, ladies and gentlemen. The time has finally come for the one and only Miss Fairy Tail contest, and I am your host, Max, Allura Sand Wizard Extraordinaire. The crowd cheered while Izuku, Natsu, Gray, and Elfman sat beside each other in front of the stage to watch. Shocking them, Natsu was there. Max. Now introducing the girl who'll drink you under the table any day of the week, Kana Alberona. The crowd erupted in cheers for Kana as she came out, and then her clothes turned into a swimsuit. The entire celebration continued till Evergreen entered the picture and turned the girls to stone. Now Laxus has begun the battle of Fairy Tail. What will happen next? Part 23. Izuku, Natsu, Gadgil, and Gramps all waited for the stone statues of the girls to break, and when Erza's one broke first, Izuku immediately jumped, hugging the life out of her. Then after a bit he did the same to the other girls, who were freed from the certification put on them by Evergreen, and now Izuku had gone and found Laxus, who attacked Erza since she was distracted because they saw Mistigan's face, and now to protect his friends Izuku will fight Laxus. Present. Laxus' aura began to grow larger and even more powerful, so powerful in fact that the air around them began to vibrate. Izuku. I think it's about time you give up. You'll never have Fairy Tail, cause I'll never let that happen. Laxus. Oh yeah, you don't know who you're messing with. I'm a lot stronger than any of you ever dreamed, and none of you are strong enough to stop me, so your best bet is to get out of my way. Izuku. Oh yeah, then it seems I'm gonna have to knock you down a few notches. Izuku jumped high into the air and touched the ceiling with his feet before rebounding off. One for all, Delaware smash. Laxus. Come on, is that the best you've got? I have more power than you in my little finger. Izuku was sent smashing into the roof of the cathedral with dust covering him, that is till he smashed off the roof and dived down at Laxus, both covered in lightning like auras. Izuku Laxus, hey Aya. Laxus however got the best of Izuku. Izuku. He laid on the ground with yellow lightning pulsing from around his body, while Laxus stood in front of him with his fist raised to the air and looking up. Izuku. Man, what the hell is this? I never remembered this guy is so strong. What happened to him? Laxus. Can you feel the electric energy from outside coming in? Izuku. I can't move. Laxus. It will plummet from the heavens and turn you into ash raging bolt. The floor where Izuku once laid in was completely broken and smoking Izuku himself however was nowhere to be found. Laxus. Ha 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 ha, so who's the strongest fairy tale wizard now? Still not you. Laxus grew a shocked expression looking up only to see Izuku holding the roof with one hand while his legs were completely shattered, bloody and purple. Izuku thoughts. Damn my limit, he said to himself before going into his pocket and taking out a vial putting it onto his leg with his left hand, causing them to grow green and heal, and then let go of the roof before landing onto the ground and looking at Laxus, who just grew stronger and stronger, with each passing second, the lightning coming out of his body only grew stronger, causing not only the air to vibrate, but also made his eyes flash yellow again and again. Laxus. What's the matter, you scared? You should be. Izuku only looked down with his hair covering his eyes before looking up showing a face of pure determination. Izuku. I won't lose, not to you. Laxus. Izuku. Izuku. Laxus. Both. I will defeat you. Both charged at each other and exchanged attacks over and over again. Izuku. Laxus. Laxus. Damn you. Both Izuku and Laxus struggled to lock eyes with each other again before going back to the punches. Izuku. Laxus. Jai. Izuku. I won't let you beat me. Laxus. Izuku. Ugh. Both men spit out a little blood. Laxus grew angrier however, and with all his might sent a massive smash at Izuku shaking everything around them. Laxus. Why won't you just die already? Izuku was sent smashing into the brick wall a few meters away, shattering it and falling to the ground, but he refused to give up and stand. Laxus. Ever since you came all anyone has thought about is you, the great hero. All they think, all they talk about is you. It makes me sick. Why should they talk about a weakling like you when they have me? Laxus. I'll show them all who the true strongest is. Lightning Dragon. Izuku. No way, he's a dragon slayer. Laxus. Roar. The lightning enveloped Izuku in a bright light, and as the explosion passed it revealed him on the ground with lightning bouncing off of him grunting in pain. Laxus. You're still alive, damn, I was sure that would finish you off. Why won't you just kick the bucket already? Izuku. I can't move. Laxus. You bastard, the old man, Erza and Mystigan, Natsu and Gajeel and all those weaklings in Fairy Tail and those pathetic people in Magnolia, your time is over now. He shouted as lightning raged around him and the floor shattered with beams of light shooting out. Izuku. What are you thinking? Stop it right now, Laxus. Laxus roared out as he continued to build up power when both men heard Levi. Laxus, stop. Izuku and Laxus turned to see Levi hiding behind a pillar with Natsu and Gajeel behind her, both wounded from versing Laxus earlier. Izuku. Levi, what are you doing here? Get out of here. Levi. Laxus, you need to see the master, he doesn't have much time. But Laxus continued to build up power as tears brewed in Levi's eyes. Levi. Master Makarov, I mean your grandfather is close to death. Izuku. No way, not him. Izuku thought to himself in shock as Laxus' pupils revealed themselves again. Levi. Stop this now, go see him one last time please before it's too late. Izuku. It can't be, it isn't possible, Gramps is gonna die. Levi. Please, Laxus. Laxus however showed an evil grin. Laxus. This is working out perfectly for me now, I have an even better chance at becoming Fairy Tail's master. Levi gasped in shock as Natsu and Gajeel snarled at Laxus. Gajeel. Damn you, Laxus. This will be the dawn of a new era, he said as the magic reached its limit and pinged a light burst from every area within the cathedral. Levi fell to her knees. No, Laxus. Izuku. You can't do this, don't you care about Gramps at all? Laxus. Fairy Tail will strike fear into the hearts of its enemies. Laxus. I invoke fairy law. The light covered everything and the entire city however, as the entire city was covered in the golden sphere of light, no one saw the massive green light, which had taken down fairy law. Part 24. Everyone watched as the bright golden light enveloped them as Laxus laughed. Laxus. Haha, I finally surpassed the old man. The light vanished, revealing an unharmed Natsu, Gajeel, and Levi all coughing, shocking Laxus. Laxus. What the impossible, how are you all still alive? Levi. Gajeel, are you okay? Gajeel. Yeah, I'm good. Levi. And Natsu. Gajeel. Hell, looks just fine to me. Levi. Thank goodness, she said sighing with relief. Laxus. No, this can't be, how is it possible? I couldn't have failed the spell. No, it was you, wasn't it, Izuku? He said turning everyone attention to Izuku who was standing still with smoke coming off him. His hands held the sword of Basra, but when it vanished, it revealed countless scars and bruises on Izuku. But what made Gajeel, Natsu and Levi gasp in fear and scream was the sight of his arms. Izuku fell to his knees. Gajeel, Natsu, Levi. Izuku, sir. Izu. They ran to him and checked on his wounds. His body was so damaged that Levi couldn't help but fear the worst. Laxus. How did you do it? Answer me. Natsu. What did you do? Izuku. Gajeel. I think he's the reason we're all still here. Levi. What do you mean? Gajeel. I knew I saw him. You see, when Laxus unleashed the spell I saw someone run at the speed of lightning holding a sword and slash, then the green completely overlapped fairy law, but I never thought it was him. Levi. He's amazing. Suddenly Fried showed up wounded after his fight with Marahin barely standing and leaning on the door of the cathedral, attracting all their attention. Laxus. Fried. Looks like your spell didn't work thanks to the hero. Laxus. I know but that doesn't mean I can't do it again. Fried. That's enough Laxus, you can't win this battle, not against the hero, give up and go see your grandfather, there might still be hope for forgiveness. Laxus shook in frustration before shouting. Laxus. He may be family but I am stronger. Izuku. Who the hell do you think you are? Shocking everyone, Izuku was back on his feet with wind and thunder flying around him countering the lightning. Izuku. You're not stronger than Gramps. Fried. Incredible. Izuku. You couldn't even complete fairy law, you're no better than the rest of us. Don't you know blood ties don't matter cause everyone in the guild is supposed to be considered family. Laxus. You're wrong, blood ties do matter. Izuku. You've been a member long enough to know better than that, if you think that makes you above everyone else then you're wrong. Laxus. And you're dead. Both Izuku and Laxus charged at each other, causing a massive burst of magic, the which they both launch into the sky, fighting lightning versus lightning. Izuku and Laxus clashed back and forth causing sounds of thunder, attracting everyone's attention in the crowd as all of Fairy Tail came and witnessed both men battle. Izuku Laxus Izuku Greya. However, the pain from his injuries caused Izuku to falter. Laxus. Izuku coughed out blood as Laxus began to punch him with lightning-infused punches, which caused everyone to shake in fear of all the crunching noises coming from Izuku and echoes of Laxus lightning upon collision. Erza. Stand up. Mira. Fight. Fairy Tail. Come on Izuku. Laxus. Die. But before his fist could make collision, Izuku was instantly under Laxus' fist and uppercutting the blonde into the cathedral wall. Laxus smashed out the wall and looked at Izuku in pure anger. Laxus. Why won't you just die already? He said as he generated lightning in both his hands. Izuku. Fairy Tail is our home, there's no way I'd let you destroy it, never, even if I have to die to stop you I won't give up. Laxus. I am gonna obliterate you, lightning dragon heavenward halberd. Fried. No, you'll kill him. Girls. Stop it. Fairy Tail. No Izuku. Laxus. The lightning upon collision caused a massive explosion and everyone was left in tears, but when the smoke cleared, they found Izuku standing covered in smoke, his entire body bloody and bruised but still standing. Laxus. No one could survive that, what are you? Izuku walked forward shocking everyone. Izuku. I am the predecessor to the #1 hero All Might. Laxus. Stay back, he shouted, throwing a lightning bolt at Izuku, only for it to be destroyed by a golden shield. Izuku. I am the light in the darkness. Laxus. Get away from me, he shouted, about to turn into lightning and vanish, but Izuku grabbed his wrist, somehow stopping him. Izuku. I am the fairy hero El Drago and I will make you pay for hurting my family. Laxus. Stop it. Izuku. United States of Smash. The smash was so powerful that it not only destroyed the ground and everything above it, but created a massive tornado, nearly swallowing up everyone. Laxus was nearly conscious that is till he saw something. Laxus thoughts. This light and his smile. Izuku is smiling. Laxus stared up. Laxus. He truly is a hero. And with that, he gave in and lost consciousness. Fairy Tail stood there looking at Izuku in complete and utter shock, but Mira ran up and caught Izuku, who fell burying his head into her breast with tears in her eyes. Mira. You're an idiot. Izuku was barely able to speak, but said, I'm just happy you're safe, he told her with a smile before falling asleep as well. Mira. I hate you, my Izu, she said before putting his head into her lap so he can sleep. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.